All right, so today we're diving into the world of Steve Jobs.
Hmm.
And I mean, he's a tech icon, obviously,
Right.
but we're going to uncover how his influence goes way beyond just like computers and smartphones.
Absolutely. And we're looking at Dr. Leo Lexicon's book, Steve Jobs, the visionary innovator of Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And it's amazing, really, how Jobs had this impact on design, user experience,
Yeah,
even how we interact with, like, everyday objects.
it's true. Like he changed how we think about innovation.
He did.
And today we're going to dig into those kind of like less explored parts of his life, his journey.
Definitely.
So, for example, the book talks about Jobs dropping out of college.
Yeah.
But then, and this is so interesting to me, he sticks around to audit a calligraphy course,
Huh?
which isn't exactly, the typical path to like book tech dominance.
Not the usual, no, but, and this is key, this unconventional choice really shaped Apple's design, how it looked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jobs wasn't just, into how technology worked.
Uh-huh.
He was really captivated by like the aesthetic, how it looked, the possibilities there.
I see.
Lexicon really gets into the nitty-gritty of how this fascination with typography, the visuals,
Yeah.
led to Apple using proportional fonts in the Macintosh, which back then that was huge.
Wow.
It meant you had text that, it looked good, but it was also easier to read.
That's so interesting because it really shows how focused he was on user experience.
Exactly.
Even before, like, that was a common term.
Before its time.
It wasn't just like, does it work
Right.
for Jobs? It was, how does it make you feel?
100%. And Lexicon actually links this back to Jobs' time at Atari, designing video games.
Okay.
So even back then, with the pixels and the graphics were so simple, then
Yeah.
Jobs was already all about simplicity,
Yeah.
elegance.
Interesting.
Yeah. And of course, you can't forget the whole India trip.
Right.
Like, it's almost a cliche now, right?
Yeah.
The tech person seeking, enlightenment.
Yeah.
But for Jobs, this experience, it really solidified, it cemented his thing with minimalist design.
And that was pretty radical then.
Oh, totally.
When tech was all about like cramming in features.
More. But not Jobs.
He's different.
He got the power of stripping it all away, getting to the core of an idea beautifully.
So you have like all these threads, unconventional education, the gaming world, this almost spiritual experience.
Yeah,
And it's like they weave together to create Steve Jobs.
they do. It's fascinating, and it gets even more interesting when we see how these influences, they pop up in the things he did outside of Apple,
Yeah, okay.
Because it's not just Silicon Valley. It's animation, design, how we shop even. Take Pixar, for instance.
Okay, yeah. It's easy to forget, right, that Jobs had this whole thing with Pixar.
Totally.
People just think Apple, Apple, Apple.
Right, exactly. But you can't deny his influence on Pixar.
Oh, for sure.
Like, Lexicon talks about how they were struggling before Jobs came in.
Really?
Yeah, he saw that their strength, it wasn't so much those big movies, but the storytelling
Okay.
and that cutting-edge software, the animation software, that was their thing.
So he saw the potential that other people just weren't seeing?
Classic Jobs. 100%. Instead of, making them go head-to-head with Disney, that classic animation style,
Yeah.
he's like, no, Pixar, you do you. Embrace what you're good at.
Interesting.
And that leads to, like, those amazing shorts, right? Luxo Jr., Tin Toy,
Oh, yeah.
showed off what they could do technically,
Yeah.
but also, man, those stories,
Yeah.
so much emotion, funny too.
Yeah, they were like, those shorts were huge for them.
Huge. Their calling card,
Totally. Paved the way for all the feature films, changed animation, really.
big time. And speaking of, like, taking risks, long-term vision, there's Next T.
Oh, yeah, Next T, that's a whole other thing.
Right. Not a blockbuster, not on the surface at least, but man, the ripple effect.
That's blame that.
Next T, it's like the perfect example of Jobs playing chess. You know what I mean?
Well, everyone else is playing checkers.
Exactly. Everyone else is thinking short term. He's thinking way down the line.
I see.
So the company itself, maybe not a huge success commercially, but the tech they developed there,
Yeah.
game changer. Lexicon really dives into this, the Next Step operating system.
Okay.
Advanced, used object-oriented programming, but huge focus on how the user experiences it, the interface, the design,
Seems so ahead of its time.
way ahead.
Yeah.
And guess what? That became the foundation for Mac OS, and get this, iOS.
So the thing that flopped basically is what made Apple computers and the iPhone what they are.
You got it. It's like he was playing this long game. Nobody else could even see the board.
That's wild. It really shows how much he believed in what he was doing, even when, like, nobody else did.
100%.
Yeah.
He trusted his gut, his vision, and this ties into what Lexicon calls the Jobs paradox, right?
Yeah. Right. The intensity.
Okay,
And let's be real, the guy was demanding, right?
He was, no question.
Yeah.
But that's part of what made him him.
But that intensity, that drive, that's also what pushed Apple to, like, innovate so much.
Oh, totally. It's like, could he have, created all that if he wasn't like that?
Right.
Big question, no easy answer, and Lexicon really, he wants you to think about that.
Yeah, it's like a reminder that genius, it doesn't always come, in a nice package.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about Jobs' early days, his impact on tech, but also, like, way beyond tech.
Mm-hmm.
What about now? What's his, like, lasting legacy? What's he left us with?
I mean, look around. Seriously, your smartphone, probably listening to this on
Probably.
the way it's designed, your laptop, even how we buy things online. Jobs' fingerprints are everywhere.
It's true. I never really, like, connected it all back to him.
He had this vision. Tech could be, useful, beautiful part of your life, not just this thing you use.
Yeah.
Make it simple, easy, even fun. And that wasn't just the product itself.
What do you mean?
The whole experience, how you get it, everything. Think about the Apple Store.
Oh, right.
Revolutionary.
Right.
Still copying it today.
So he changed how we buy stuff, too, not just use it.
100%. That designed, so meticulous, every little thing, the stores themselves, so minimal. That packaging, iconic. He got it, that whole retail thing, it's part of it. Builds the brand, makes you feel like you're part of something.
Wow. So what's the takeaway for everyone listening? What do we learn from Steve Jobs?
For me, it's that, honestly, the best ideas, they can come out of nowhere. Who knew calligraphy, right? That and computer design.
Right.
Animation, technology. He made those connections, didn't stay in one lane.
He was all over the place.
The best, kind of all over the place. Master synthesizer, that's what he was.
So we should, like, be open to anything, try new things.
Exactly. Look for those weird connections, those hidden patterns. You'll be surprised what you find, I guarantee it.
Love it. Well, there you have it. Steve Jobs, a true visionary, changed tech, design, everything, really.
No doubt.
And if you want to go even deeper, on this journey, check out Steve Jobs, the Visionary Innovator of Silicon Valley by Dr. Leah Lexicon. All the details, links to buy it, it's all in the episode description.
Definitely worth a read.
And hey, while you're there, sign up for that Lexicon Labs mailing list. They're giving away a really cool poster.
Please.
Until next time, keep exploring. You never know what you might discover.